No, no! No! Are you listening?
Sean from Metal Grounded. I wanted to make an update video. Lorne is bipolar 2, or should I say was. As you get older, untreated, it can progress. And Lorne, he's definitely progressed. Not in the good way. Rapid cycling is something you will see with people with untreated bipolar disorder. People who are treated, you'll see it very rarely. And the most you'll see is likely a slow decline into depression and usually a bounce back out. With Lorne, Jesus, in those robot calls, you are seeing an uninterrupted mood swing. Starts off happy, and in a matter of time, he goes mental, goes ballistic, and that is a trademark of someone who has gone from bipolar 2 to bipolar 1. Bipolar 2, they have a tendency to spend money they don't have, do things they normally wouldn't do during bouts of mania, attracted to people who they normally wouldn't be attracted to. Mostly, that is to dangerous situations. I'll give you an example. I went from the most popular kid in the school, happy, made everybody laugh, and then on a downswing, I would go and hang out with people at Winter's Arcade, where guns would be there, drugs. I wouldn't do any of it, but being around that, man, that was a rush. That was a drug for me. I would bounce back out of it, come back up. I would go through bouts of mania where I would have a girlfriend in 5 high schools. I was the guy who could roll in a party from another high school and it'd be like Norm from Cheers, Sean! And it's because no matter where I went, I tried to please everybody. And when you're in high school, that's the way to be popular, is either be a sports star or in the cool crowd, or be the guy that makes everybody laugh, hangs out with every class, freshman through senior. Lorne has never had that. Lorne's had Tony and Wendy, Roy, his family. I don't think people in his life necessarily saw that, because you won't see it too much. The most you'll see with bipolar is probably anger in the family. Maybe sadness, withdrawal, or this. Dude, why am I saying dude? Lorne giving that money away, that is 100% bipolar, trying to please everyone. I used to buy things for people that didn't even ask for it. I just wanted to. I didn't think about how much money it was. I just wanted the rush of someone being appreciative of something I gave. Was that Lorne's case? I don't really know. I wasn't really bragging about the high school thing. I'm just trying to show you what an extreme case of bipolar can do. But Lorne's gone way past bipolar 2, and I'm about to get into a little bit more of why I think he's where he's at. Lorne, in a psychological sense, remains in a mixed state. It's not a rare occurrence, but it's unusual. He stays not in between, but in a mix. I guess that's why they call it mixed state, huh? In a mix of depression and mania. That's very dangerous. Imagine a mania upswing and a downward slide of depression put together. Just imagine living in that hell. I can't believe it. I'm almost getting choked up talking about this because I know what it's like on a smaller scale, and to know that this guy's been allowed to go untreated for so long, and the hell his life must be. Yes, they are his decisions, but they are influenced by something that he could have help with, but he hasn't had any help. I never thought I'd see the day where I got choked up a little bit about Mr. Penis, because he's such an asshole. But he's attracted to those situations he has no business being in. None. He needs it. When he's on a downswing, he may find things like Winnie cursing him out, Debbie chewing his ass out. When he's at a mania swing, he may feel that he can offer more information about his past and who he really is. Of course, Lorne, he'll never take responsibility for anything, and that is not something that is bipolar. Yes, you will have bouts where you just start blaming everybody else, but eventually you have to take a step back, and it happens, and say, holy crap, my behavior was my fault. I should probably do something about it. I don't really know if this is a factor because, Lorne is a disgusting specimen of a human being. He is 5'8". I don't know too much about it, but you can have an overactive or an underactive thyroid. That was a problem with someone in my family, and once treated, it's bizarre how it works. I don't know the physiology too much, but for some reason, it helped. They had to take other medications like Lamictal, but there was a problem with their thyroid, and man, that thing causes problems with just about every part of your brain and body, I guess. Anyway, one of the biggest symptoms of this for Lorne is his constant promises. If you've ever been around somebody that's bipolar, I can't remember who I was speaking to. I don't know if it was No, I don't think it was Shins. There's another well-known legend in the TCAP community. And I was making the statement that Lorne's promises are a typical symptom of bipolar. They've always got something big around the corner. There's always something huge they're getting ready to do. Lorne's country music singer. Me, always wanting to make a film. I've made some short films. I have an in with Hulu right now. I just haven't done it. But I've always got that big thing right around the corner. And that's why Lorne is always promising that I'm getting there slowly. I'm about to stop drinking. I'm going to fix my behavior. I know. No, don't leave me, Winnie. I've changed. Ramona. No, look at all the changes I've made. I'm going to be the best man you've ever seen for decades. There's always something huge around the corner for them in their head. Lorne also has trouble sleeping. Some people attribute that to drinking, but I think that's why he drinks. Because without that alcohol, if any of you have bipolar, you know the hell of racing thoughts. Everything in your life, negative, positive, stress, it's all going through your head. Worry, oh my God, what am I going to do about this? What am I going to do about that? It's going through their head. And Lorne drinks, which exacerbates, intensifies, literally amplifies bipolar disorder. So the two biggest things that I've talked about before are sleep and substance abuse. The last thing you want a bipolar person to have is no sleep, because the irritability, their rapid cycling, man, it is going to be almost unmanageable. I'm talking about for the people around them, because you just can't handle it. It'll be too much. Lorne exhibits one of the biggest symptoms, self-importance, and he has that in droves. He really does believe that he's the most important person in the universe, because bipolar people are so consumed with their stress and their worry and an overinflated mania bout of pride that they can't see the outside world. They are the people who believe, you know what Truman Show syndrome is. It's not that bad, but they are the people who believe that maybe the universe is out to get them, that karma is coming back to get them, that things are set in motion against them, and if they wear, like one of the things I had was if I wore a watch, I'm not joking, before I was treated, if I wore a watch, bad things would happen. Until I finally realized, life, it's bad things are going to happen. If I wore jewelry, it was this weird time where it was bizarre, and I think Lorne feels the same way. His insecurities, and I've never had a woman tell me I'm ugly, even though he's a virgin, even though he knows what he looks like. Lorne does not have a problem eating. And that's prevalent in bipolar 2, but in bipolar 1, it's up there. You either eat way too much or you don't eat enough. I've gone through both. Right now, because I'm injured, if I eat even the smallest thing, I feel like I'm a big fatty. But Lorne, take a look at his cooking show and how much he made. Maybe he got it off a recipe, but if I'm doing a cooking show and I want to cook something, I'm going to make something in a proportion that I would eat. He didn't have guests over. He didn't have guests coming over, as far as I know, unless he was going to take it over to Tony and Wendy's and they were going to chuck it out the window like I probably would have, knowing what it was made in, knowing who made it. I don't want pedo pie, anybody serving me that. But Lorne may have a problem with eating. I mean, he is fat. People attribute it to drinking. I'm sure that's a large part of it. But he may also be trying to eat his troubles away as well as drink them, medicate so that he can sleep at night. He had a job interview during his love fest with his precious princess, and he had a hangover. He was going to go into that job interview smelling like alcohol, hungover, and somehow I think he got the job, whatever it was, which he probably quit immediately when he couldn't see his precious princess every day. Talking very quickly can be a symptom, but as we know, you didn't even know that when he gets him on those many syllable kicks, it makes me so happy. If you listen to Lorne's prison calls, he's never been more clear. He talks really fast. He has points in his conversations. He's actually focused. I'm certain that prison is best for him. I really am. I just think that he needs to be in a structured environment. The Air Force wasn't working out because Lorne knew he could get kicked out. Prison worked out because he knew he wasn't getting out of there and that he had to be on his best behavior. He talks like he was running around, running the prison, scaring people. At 5'8", I don't think so. You were a target, Lorne. I mean, maybe you lost your virginity, but it wasn't okay. Okay. Let's just back up. That was out of line. But prison was good for him. He couldn't drink, couldn't do anything. He was focused. When he had a conversation with Emma, he made a lot of points. He dished a lot of information. So maybe that did help him. He sure spoke a lot faster, that's for sure. Delusions, those are another symptom. I think we know Lorne is delusional. His self-importance leads into this big delusion that he's that next country music star. The guy, he will never get it. He got arrested for trying to kidnap and traffic a 13-year-old girl. How quickly would that guy be canceled if someone did like his voice, signed him, and Lorne couldn't keep his mouth shut? Think of all the access he would have had to underage. Oh, it's just scary. But he's delusional. He thinks he's going to be the next big thing. He thought all of these women would want him. Think about Jamie, Amy, and how delusional he would have to be that a hot porn star wanted somebody who looked like their grandfather, who lived in a trailer of failure. That's delusional. It really is. I'll make a few more points and then I'll be done. I know this video is long. He does things that have disastrous consequences. That's a symptom of other things, but Lorne, everything he does is disastrous. His relationships, drinking and driving, drinking too much, ignoring probation, not wanting to participate in anything, lack of focus. He probably gets in those classes and he can't think about anything. I bet in his head he still goes back to all of the embarrassing moments with these catfish women, which is one of the problems he probably had during the day. All of the negative things he had, and he desperately wanted to talk to these catfish women so that he could feel better. Okay, they've forgiven them all. That's another trademark of bipolar, is you'll just be sitting there and embarrassing things from your past pop into your head, and you'll shake your head or you'll say, God, or something will come out. Doesn't matter all of the good things you ever did in your life. Now, I don't think Lorne has done much good of anything, but I know those come into his head and he has to deal with them. And we know how Lorne deals with that. Is it love? Is it compassion? Is it appreciation that these women call him back? No, it's rage. Drunken rage and abuse. He'll never learn. I'm not sure how many times we've seen Lorne with an overabundance of energy. I'm trying to think of some, when he's in his when his annoying laughing Lorne is going on. That's obviously a mood swing, but I don't think we've ever seen him with an overabundance of energy. He's easily agitated, that's for sure. But those are my thoughts. Lorne's bipolar 2 went untreated too long. He's moved into full bipolar 1. He's never going to have a woman. He will always be a virgin. He's going to die alone, which I may die alone too. I was married once. I hated the feeling of being trapped down. Some people can handle it, I can't. Lorne wants it so much, but I promise you this. If Lorne ever got married, it would drive him crazy, because people want to isolate and separate when they're in person. Lorne lives a very lonely life and only goes out to talk to Tony and Wendy, his mom, the yard sale, Roy. But on the phone, he can just ramble on, be whoever he wants to be. But in person, I think he struggles to talk to people. Okay, this was a long video. Hopefully it gave some insight. If it did, great. If it didn't, don't shoot the messenger. I love you guys. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you in the next one.
No! Are you listening?